What's up guys, Justin here with TheSketchUpEssentials.com. So in today's video, I'm going to show you a tool for automating, creating all your tags in a model that you're going to have to see to believe. Let's go ahead and just jump into it. All right, so tagging and organization is one of those things that people don't pay a lot of attention to, but it actually takes up a lot of your time. This tool allows you to create a library of tags, store them, and then bring them into every new model, which is super valuable. Okay, and so this is from the developer of 5D Plus. You can download it by going to his page right here, specifically picking this 5D Plus auto tag. So he's also rolled out some other cool add-ons, like for example, the 5D Plus library, which we'll talk about in a future video. But for now, you want to go to 5D Plus auto tag, which again, I wish this had a little bit more detail in here about what it was, but you can just type in your email address right here and it should email you this file that you can install in SketchUp. Okay, and so that's going to send you the RBZ file, the Ruby script file. You can go into the extension manager and install that RBZ file in order to get this auto tag plus menu. And so basically what this is this is a tool you can pop up and it's going to give you tools for managing your different tags inside of your model. So the very first thing I want to talk about, because this is where the power of this tool is the ability to import a collection of tags from an Excel file. And so this is actually extremely valuable because you can create an Excel file that has all of your tags and also the tag groups that you use. You can create that and you can import all of those tags at once, which is great for me because I'm really bad about trying to remember all of my different tags across different projects. So let's take a look at the way that that works first. Okay, so first off, if you want information about the way this is going to work, you can click on this little drop down right here. So there's two options I want you to pay attention to. There's going to be a third in a second. The first is the user manual. So anytime you start using a tool like this, it's a good idea to pop up that user manual and take a look at it, just because it's going to explain some things about the way that the tool works. It's nice to actually have a user manual, because I'd say it's probably about 50-50 with SketchUp extensions if there's any kind of documentation or not. But this is going to walk you through pretty much all of the different parts and pieces that are inside of this tool. So definitely worth checking out the user manual. The other thing you should do is you should download the sample files. That's going to be sample Excel files that basically show you the way that he's got these different tools set up so that you can kind of reverse engineer them. But I'm also going to walk you through how to set this up. All right, so first off, let's take a look at one of the custom mapping files, because this is just one of the sample files that you can download. And I just want you to look at the way this Excel file is set up. And I know a lot of you probably aren't super into spreadsheets. I get it, but once you figure this out, you don't have to spend a lot of time in Excel, I promise. So if you look at this, right, he's got 3 columns. Those 3 columns are going to contain information about the different tags that it's going to create. And so in this situation, we've got a row here. And so these rows are basically divider rows. They have brackets in front of them like this. So you've got a bracket in front of information, you've got a bracket in front of color, you've got a bracket in front of dashes, right? And the bracket is just the open bracket, closed bracket, like this, 2 things. And so that just goes in front of the name and in the color and the dashes, and then these are individual items. And so this is the name of the tag that you want to create. This is the color. So I've not figured out a way to add textures in here, but this allows you to put a RGB color and an opacity in here. So if you had Windows, right, you might want this opacity to be like 0.5 or something like that. And then over here, you can note if it needs to be dashed or not. So you can see how this one, for example, there's a long dash and a short dash. Now, the one thing I don't know, because I don't have a good list of names for these dashes, is beyond the long dash and the short dash, I don't know what other dashes are in here from a naming standpoint. So if somebody else knows where those are listed, that would be great. But yeah. Anyway, so that's where you put the dash information. And what it's going to do is it's going to read this file. It's going to then give you the option to import these different tags into your model. And so what I've done is I have a test import file right now. And so what I've done with this test import file is I've basically got open and closed brackets and then a name and then my items, right? So I've got site items. So right now I've got existing and proposed. In the future, I'm gonna add additional things to this list, but for now that's okay. Here I've got all of my different architectural items like walls and roofs. And then down below, I've also got my cabinets. And so I've got those cabinets. You can adjust the order in here if you want to. You could sort them alphabetically, but let's go ahead. This is my test import file. Let's jump over into SketchUp and use this tool in order to import it. And so the way that you're going to do that is you're going to open up AutoTag Plus or 5D Plus AutoTag, and you want to go to the Excel import tag, and you want to click on Browse in order to go find that file. So in this case, it's a test import file right here. Well, notice how those are going to show up and they're going to be divided, right? So everything that was in brackets or had the brackets shows up as a section divider in here. But notice how this reads this and it has all of the colors set to white because that's the color that I had. And it's also got those dashes over here. And so what we want to do is we want to import that. And so to import that, what you can do is you can either click individual items and import them, right? So notice how it brought these in right here, or you can click on a full section or overall everything, like this. Now, if I import this right now, notice what this is going to do is this is going to bring this all in just kind of a giant list of words. It doesn't actually have the grouping in here. So we need to fix that. And we're going to do that by going in and adjusting the mapping. And so for the mapping, what we want to do, and I'm going to go ahead and delete these out, is you need to go to the little gear right here under custom mappings. And so what these are, especially in the folder to tag section, we'll talk about tag to name in a little bit. Folder to tag is basically saying, okay, if your tag name includes this, then you need to put it in this folder, right? So in this case, if the tag name includes the 1 and the period, then it's going to put it in a folder labeled 1 site. And so it's going to go through and it's going to read the data in those folders in order to sort them out. And so all you do in order to set these up, say that we had another one of these, and I don't, but let's say we had an item, we'll call it 5, and we'll call it structural, right? Then what you would do is you would just say, okay, anything with a 5 in front of it needs to go in the structure tab. And then you'd click on save right here. So now all of those are going to show up in here. So when you import that Excel file, what it's going to do is it's going to map them automatically. So let's jump back into our Excel file. I'm actually going to close out of this. I find you need to just close this window and reopen it up when you re-import it. If you've done an import before, which you probably haven't. But we need to add the numbers in here. So like, for example, the site items are going to be 1s like this. And I'm going to go ahead and put the 1 in the bracket right here. I've not 100% figured this out. So I know that it'll bring them in and put them in the folder if you put the correct prefix in front of the items. I haven't figured out, there's a couple items it seems like in the example files that are doing it without having the prefix on there, but I'm not sure I fully understand that. So, I mean, it's easy enough to just put them in here as like a 2 period, doors, things like that. So I'm going to go through and do this real quick. And then we'll re-import this and you can see how it brings them into the folders. And we can go ahead and put the prefix in the section. It doesn't really seem to matter if you do that or not, as that seems to be more of a label, but we'll go ahead and put it in here anyway. So now I'm going to resave this file, and this is basically a collection of our different tags. But now if I go to AutoTag Plus, click on the Excel option and browse to my test import folder, and now if I select all these items, I'm going to click in here like this to select all and click on import. Notice how those get brought in, sorted into these tags right here. So it's basically put these items in here, sorted into the sections that we set up in our custom mappings, which is pretty cool. So you can set up an Excel file that's got all of these different items in there, and then you can just bring in your whole library of tags so that you're not having to like create them one by one or anything like that. So I'll probably use this on pretty much every project I have moving forward. But there's a couple other things you can do as well. So for example, let's say we're going to create some walls. So we're just going to create a rectangle right here. I'll offset it in 6 inches and we'll push pull it up. And in this case, and we can go ahead and turn our shadows off. As cool as this looks, we don't really need that in order to be working in here. But say we've got a group, and I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna make it a group, and we're gonna call that group in the outliner, we're gonna call it exterior walls right here. And then let's say we had some interior walls. So I'm just gonna create like a quick wall in here. It doesn't really matter. So we'll take this item right here, take this item right here. We'll push pull this in. And I'm gonna make this a group, and we'll call this interior walls. Well, one of the cool things that you can do with this tool is you can auto tag items. So if I click on this item right here, and we go into this setting in our custom mappings right here, instead of being in the folder tag, we can do tag to name. And so basically what we want is if the wall object name includes the word wall, we want this to tag this with the tag, and I'm going to click in here, 2 period walls, right? So it's just going to correspond with what you have, right? So in this case, like door, we would actually want in 2 period doors. We want that to correspond with items that we already have in our tag sections right here. But if I click on save, then we close out of this and we go back over here, notice how there's an option for auto assign tag by name. And so what this is going to do is this is going to go through and it's going to look at the group names of objects, right? So in this case, I'm going to click right here, and it's going to go through and it's going to find those sections. And notice how, because the word walls was in here like this, it's auto tagged both of those to the walls section right here. So you can use this to automatically tag items inside of SketchUp using their group names or their component names from the outliner. And then there's a bunch of other interesting stuff in here as well. So like, for example, if you did want to retag something, so I can click into this item right here. Notice how when I select an item, the active tag is going to show up in here. You can toggle those on and off. So I could click on this and toggle my roof on and off if I wanted to. Really, you could probably use this in place of the tag manager. But in this situation, say I wanted to re-tag this to my roof layer, what I could do is I could select this from my list, right? Notice how that made this active, but I can click on an object, or it's actually the other way around. You can click on an object and then click on the roof right here, and you can actually use this to re-tag objects just by selecting them. So we could go ahead and we could pick up these windows, for example. So I'm just going to do a shift click, pick up a bunch of windows real quick. And then I could take this and I can tag them just by clicking on windows right here. So it's placed these objects on the windows tag just like this. So you can use this to really quickly re-tag objects just by clicking on them and then clicking on objects inside of the menu right here. You can also adjust the dashes in here like this. So if you do want to adjust dashed lines or something like that, you can do it within this tool. And so I've not really played around with the auto create folder for tags. So probably that's going to go through and it's going to search them by name and then put like names together. I've not really played with that because I don't want this automatically creating the tags. I want to create my own and have them in SketchUp. And so you can also, if you have a model that you already like, you can click on this, you can go find a model, and you can import the tags from that model directly into SketchUp as well. So if you have a model that you like, you can click on import, go find that SketchUp model, and it'll bring the tags in from that model. You can also export your tags either to a SketchUp file or to an Excel file. So if you export it to a SketchUp file, right here, and then you open that SketchUp file. So basically what that's done is that's just created a swatch for each one of these, and it's applied the material to it like this so that you have the materials that you can bring in the future. So when you've got this SketchUp file like this, you've got those materials. Ooh, just had a really great thought. Okay, you're gonna like this. Okay, so remember how earlier I said you couldn't bring in the textures? Well, what you can do though is you can set up your hatch textures in here if you want them, and then you could use that export function. So for example, my walls has a hatch pattern associated with it. Well, if you go to AutoTag Plus and you export this, right? So I'm gonna export this to a SketchUp file right here, like this. And then you open up that file. Notice how this has exported those tags with those images associated. So now if you were to go into, let's go back to our house for tagging. So if you were to import this, right? So I'm going to do a import tags from a SketchUp file. We're going to bring in our tags from hatching. Well, notice how those tags, like this wall one right here, that's going to have that image associated with it, I think. Okay, so when it brings it in from the SketchUp file and there's an image associated with it, it brings that image in too. So what you can do is you can save a SketchUp file with your hatching images associated with it. And so you could set up a SketchUp file with hatching and then import from that SketchUp file and be able to automatically import tags with hatch images associated with it as well. So super cool from that standpoint. Lots of different applications and things that you can do with this tool. So this may not be the most exciting thing in the world, but for a setup standpoint, this is something that I'll probably use on every project moving forward because I can just bring all of that stuff in easily. So I'm super excited about it. Love to hear from you in the comments down below. Is this something you might use? I just love having that conversation with you guys. As always, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this, and I'll catch you in the next video. Thanks, guys.